This is a Riviera 6000 sport yacht. It's the largest of the sport yacht range for Riviera. They have quite a big range of boats actually. I think they got to about 70 feet and down to about 40 feet. This is the biggest of the sports yachts, and it's a classic sports yacht layout. So we've got the garage in the back that'll take about a 3.2 metre tender. We've got the drop platform on here, and we've got the 2 accesses up to the cockpit. A couple of people on board, they do know we're coming, so I did warn them in advance, so that's no problem. We'll head on this way. What we'll do is we'll go inside first of all. I'll show you this quickly as we go past. We've got a docking station here. These are on both sides and these fold away. So if you don't want them in view, you can have them away like that. And then here we've got things like the bin, the sink. There's a fridge. No, there's an ice maker and there's a fridge. And then there's the barbecue underneath there. Then if we spin on around here, you can see we've got a great seating area around here and then more seating at the back. There's even a sliding roof over here. That one there will slide back this way, so you can open this out a lot more. And then what you've got is this lift window. You can see it's in the raised position. This door slides open and this all connects all the way through. It's a galley aft layout, so we've got fridges here and here. We've got the Miele cooking, so the oven and the hob. These little fellas here, and so that if you put like a kettle on there, for example, you can lock it in place and it won't fall off with the boat's rocking. That one there is the bin. And then we've got storage along the top as well here, so things like your crockery and so forth have all got somewhere to live. There's a big glass panel across here. On a day like today, we've got the boat all closed up with the air conditioning on, but obviously if you wanted to have that open, you could do. It's a fixed pane, but obviously it means you've got the light through there, and then the front one there slides as well. There's more storage over here, more fridges as well. Look at this. So these are big, at least the catch, we might even be able to open it. Drawer fridge like that. We've got the control system for the boat here. It's a sea zone control system, so you can go into all the various functions on here and see everything that's working. Obviously control everything. Like so. We've got TV here as well. This one here is the AV equipment. Now if we spin around a little bit further, you can see nice settee over on this side. It's quite a clever trick with this. You can take that centerpiece out and there's a table that flips up in here and gives you sort of facing little sort of breakfast bar kind of thing really. But there is a bigger table here and that's on high-low legs. As you can see, they're telescopic. You can drop that down and infill that if you want to. Helm is here as well. Recaro seats, these are really lovely. That's very nicely done. And then you've got the usual bits and pieces you'd expect. You've got the big multifunction displays. There's a Seakeeper on this one, so that's the control for that. The Volvo Penta engine instrumentation is in there. It's all digital these days, of course. And another C-Zone panel just here. Engine controls, bow thruster control, and IPS joystick. Some people ask why an IPS joystick boat needs a bow thruster, and the reason is sometimes if the wind is blowing strong, your engines are obviously fairly well back. It's useful to have a bit of leverage on the bow if the wind's blowing it to be able to actually lever that end of the boat. So that's why they have the bow thruster. You don't need it most of the time. It's just if it's a bit breezy, it can be very helpful. It's all finished in a low glare material, so you don't get the reflections on the screen. And then if we head on downstairs, we will head forward first of all. Love this woodwork, all this high gloss, looks really smart. And then in here is the VIP guest cabin. Again, you can see that neat woodwork. Look at the headboard up here. The way they've done that. It's all rather lovely, isn't it? Got the hatch up above, of course, and then again, as you'd expect, a load of storage. You've got a hanging locker over here, for example. Like so. There's a similar sort of thing on the other side. AV equipment again, dotted around the place. And big drawers down under the bed as well. This has got its own ensuite. That's in here. Toilet, shower, sink. So that's just for this cabin. Don't know what that is. Let's have a look, shall we? A little bit of shelving. Excellent. It's a voyage of discovery with me, isn't it? All right, let's close that one back up. We've then got day heads in here. So very similar sort of thing, but this is straight from the passageway down and through. And again, toilet, shower, sink and so forth. But you'll notice there's the door just there, and that is because it links up to this fella here. So nice big guest cabin 3. Loads of headroom in here. Again, you've got the storage and the drawers and so on, and that's that door through, so that can be en suite at night. But the other thing you do with that toilet is it's shared with cabin 4. That's on this side of the boat. So what you've got here is just a bunk cabin there, and again, hanging locker, storage, and so forth. So those at night, would use that one over there. If we go down this passage, head aft, we will find things alike. There is a washing machine, but there's also a dryer. Not often you see both of those things. It's usually a combined washer dryer, which you could have if you wanted to have the other as storage. There's a wine cooler in there. Clip all these back in again. There we go. Leave it as I found it. And then we go right back here. This then is the owner's cabin. That's fantastic, isn't it? So a couple of things to mention in here. Firstly, there is an ensuite just there. Now what you can have, they do a layout which I think is called the presidential layout, whereby you lose that completely, you lose that bunked cabin, and that moves into there and makes this the full beam of the boat, and you can have a little seating around a table in the corner there. Just obviously makes this cabin a lot bigger. Depends how you want to configure the boat. You know, if you need sleeping for 8, then this boat will do it. If you don't need that much sleeping, well then you might prefer to have the larger area here. So this one, as you can see, it's the biggest of the heads, so you've got a lovely big shower there. You've got loads of storage down here, toilets down there, and the sink, and a little way in the mirror. And you might wonder about the fact you can see right through. Well, wonder no more. Okay, let's come out of here. Again, AV equipment, TV, so forth. Some nice lighting in here as well, I like all this. Big opening portholes. The interesting thing with those is they've got alarms on them, so if you try and start the engines with those open, it will warn you up at the helm. It's a very good idea, that's why it's got these wires here. What else have we got here? If we come down this side, that is storage. It looks like infill cushions there. I think they're probably for that main saloon to go onto the table up there. What else have we got? Bit of storage by the bed, little bedside tables. And then we've got this lovely walk-in wardrobe back here. That's very nice. So storage along there, hanging along there, lovely. But there's another trick back here, because if we come right on round, this takes us into this area, which is like a utility area. This one's been set up with extra refrigeration, and in fact you can have a crew cabin here. There's access up these steps and out through the hatch at the top that takes you straight back into the cockpit, and what they can do is fit this out so you've got a single bed here, and then there's a doorway across here, and the heads is at the end. But this, I think, for an owner-operator is brilliant, because it makes for a lovely area, a lot more storage, a lot more facilities. You've also got engine access here as well, and that means that people are working on the engine, they can come from the cockpit straight down, they don't have to go through the accommodation. But it's dead easy to walk through and get yourself into here. We've got the generator running at the minute because we've got the air conditioning on and we need it today. It's really, really hot down here in the south of France. So let's have a little look. Now in here are a pair of Volvo Penta IPS 950s. They're 725 horsepower each. And they're going to give the boat probably about 28 knots flat out, cruising at 20 knots. And if you're doing 20 knots, you're going to get about 340 miles of range. But as ever with this sort of boat, drop the speed right back, run it at 6 knots, and you're up to nearly 1,000 miles. So again, just depends where you're going and what you want to do with it. This is the tender garage here, that's why that drops down to the centre, but it's quite nice because we can move around that. You can see you've got pretty good access to things like the air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. Whenever you get one of these boats with tender garage, there's inevitably a bit of compromise, because clearly the tender's got to go somewhere. We can get right down between the engines here. Generator is over on that side. You've got things like fuel filters, fire system, all that kind of stuff. Thusly. Cool, okay, let's come back out of here, spin on round. And the only thing we haven't done is the decks. So, we're usually going to do the engines last, but since we're here, seems the obvious thing to do to show you those now. Let's come back out through here. That is a nice cabin, isn't it? Fantastic. Back through this passageway. I'll slip around these people here. Hi. Hi. Back out to the cockpit. And we'll take a wander around the outside. These are nice and deep. As you come into here, they feel really good. These are engine vents here. Love the illuminated Riviera sign just there, that's nice. And if we step up, this is taking us back past the helm position. It's a big opening window just here. That up there is that sliding roof. I can't see it very well from where I am, but hopefully from where you are you will be able to. And if we come right the way around, we've got things like storage for deck gear in places like this, so ropes in there at the moment, for example. Sunbathing cushions. These backrests of course drop flat, so you get a better view out if you want it when you're actually out and running. And this is quite nice. They've concealed the anchor chain underneath this centre section, so that, you know, if people are running around, you've got kids or whatever, they're not going to be tripping over it or knocking into it. That's a searchlight on the front, anchor locker, and so forth. And that is, I would say, about the size of that. It's a cool looking boat, isn't it? Excellent. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to say huge thanks to Riviera Yachts for organising this tour. Huge thanks to you guys for watching it. Let me know what you think of this boat, and we will catch you on one of these real soon. Take care. Bye bye.